20 most valuable Bo Jackson baseball cards. Bo Jackson baseball cards were hot items from the moment his rookie cards started popping out of wax packs back in 1987. Actually, collectors' love affair with Jackson cardboards started even before then, thanks to one, the hype that surrounded him as a two-sport, Heisman Trophy winning phenom, taking his cuts in the batter's box. And two, the rookie card mania that gripped the hobby in the mid 1980s and prompted companies to get some Bo cards into circulation at the end of 1986. And even though Jackson's career was slowed down and ultimately cut short by a devastating hip injury suffered during the NFL playoff game in 1991, our fever for his baseball cards has only grown over the years. What follows is a rundown of the 20 most valuable Bo Jackson cards, with a few qualifiers. Namely, all the cards on our list were issued during Bo's career, are unique to the list in terms of appearance, so you won't find any 1987 Donruss and 1987 Leaf, though there is one near exception. No one of ones, no buybacks, no autographs, no relic added contrivances. The values listed below are based on recent selling prices for cards in PSA 9 condition. Although if you look hard enough, you can find tens of most of these without too much problem. At a much deeper premium, of course. All right, with our ground rules established, let's dig in and wallow in the 20 most valuable Bo Jackson baseball cards, starting at the bottom. 1992 Topps Gold, Bo Jackson, number 290. We start off with Bo in an unfamiliar black and white of the Chicago White Sox, an advent brought about by the hip injury that ended his football career in January of 1991. After the Royals released him in March, the Chi Sox signed him in April, and he worked his way to the new Comiskey Park by September. That was enough to get him in the 1992 Topps set as a Southsider. But this is no ordinary base card. It's a 1992 Topps Gold card. Considered by many to be the first true parallel, Gold featured all 792 cards from the base 1992 set, but with gold foil over the player and the team name bar at the bottom of the card. Gold cards were inserted in all wax types, including vending boxes, 5 per box, and even factory sets of 10. Collectors could also send in 10 runs from the Match the Stats game cards, also included in packs, for 10 gold cards. It didn't take consumers and Topps long to realize that you could game the game by shining a flashlight through the Match the Stats cards to reveal the answer and win every time. Topps' response was to stamp the gold card sent out as part of the game with the extra winner gold label. These winner versions of the gold cards, shown here for Bo, are more plentiful than the plain gold cards, but none are exorbitantly valuable. Value $15 to $20. 1990 Kenner starting lineup, black and white, Bo Jackson. By 1990, Kenner's starting lineup figures had become something of a staple in the hobby, even if they were tough to store and display. And you couldn't have a mainstream issue without Bo Jackson. Jackson was also part of the 1989 starting lineup set, but his individual card from that series doesn't come up for sale very often in any kind of graded condition. Hence its absence here. Bo had 2 cards in his 1990 package, a yellow bordered one and this one, which checks in at a slightly higher price point. Value $15 to $20. 1986 Donruss The Rookies, Bo Jackson, number 38. The Rookies was Donruss's answer to Topps Traded and Fleer update, and you have to hand it to them for their honesty. Because make no mistake about it, all of those late season issues were all about milking everything the companies could from the rookie card craze. In 1986 was the perfect year to jump into the fray, thanks to the amazing rookie class that included Jose Canseco, Wally Joyner, Barry Bonds, Kevin Mitchell, Ruben Sierra, and so many others. The rookies captured them all, but it's the Bo rookie card, along with the Bonds, that sits at the top of the collector want list today. Value $20 to $30. 1987 Donruss Opening Day, Bo Jackson, number 205. The card companies of the 1980s whipped out some pretty innovative designs and creative ideas in an attempt to nose out the competition. Donruss's Opening Day fit that bill to a T. As the name implies, Opening Day included cards of guys from every team's Opening Day roster in 1987. As such, it was issued later in the season when collectors were caught up on the breakout rookies and looking forward to the fall issues, rookie and traded sets mostly. Opening Day gave Donruss a nice little hobby bump during what would normally be a lull in new card sales, although distribution was limited. This 272 card run was offered only as a complete set, sold in long flat boxes with 5 cellophane wrapped bricks of cards facing up. The Barry Bonds John Ray Error card is the most famous of this issue, but collectors still chase after Bo Jackson and his Kansas City Royals home whites too. Value $25 to $40. 1987 Fleer Bo Jackson number 369. While Topps and Donruss bought in on Bo with their year-end sets in 1986, Fleer held off until 1987. That makes this 1987 Fleer not only Bo's FFC or first Fleer card, but also a true rookie card, since it was one of the first to be nationally distributed through retail outlets, i.e., through your wax pack sales at your local drugstore, etc. Fleer's 1987 Blue Fade has always garnered mixed reactions, but there's no doubt that it provides a handsome tableau for Bo and his powder blue Royal Tugs. Fleer also issued a glossy version of the 1987 set, issued in a colorful tin, and which is thought to have been limited to about 75,000 copies of each card. There is little difference in the price between the glossy and the base version of the Jackson rookie card. Value $35 and $35. 1987 Toys R Us Rookies, Bo Jackson, number 13. Baseball cards seemed to turn up everywhere during the hobby boom of the 1980s, and that included our beloved toy stores like Toys R Us. The 1987 Toys R Us issue jumped in on at least a couple of big hobby trends of the day. It was a 33-card box set dedicated solely to rookies, or rookie cards at least. Today, the black borders make these cards a bit tough to come by in very top grades, and they seem to have captured and held more collector interest than many of the box sets of the day. The Bo Jackson card in this set features the Royals' young slugger going to work in the batting cage on a sunny day. Hard to beat that imagery. Value $35 to $50. 1990 Score, Bo Jackson, number 697. Almost no one considers 1990 Score a landmark set, and it's mostly been lost to the avalanche of different issues and rampant overproduction of the era. This black and white shot of a shirtless Bo caused gasps and groans, and sighs and shrieks from the moment it was released. A series of Nike posters with the same theme only helped solidify this image in the consciousness of fans and collectors everywhere. Today, this card is a hobby icon, and collectors from all walks of life chase it like defenders trying to catch up with a primetime Bo streaking down the football field towards the end zone. Value $40 to $50. 1991 Topps Tiffany, Bo Jackson, number 600. Topps finished up its run of 8 straight Tiffany parallel sets in 1991 with what most consider to be the hardest to come by. With an announced print run of just 4,000 factory sets, these cards are downright scarce by the standards of the day. Add in an understated and classic design on a typical premium white cardstock for Tiffany, with a super glossy finish, and you have a recipe for success with collectors. What goes double for this action-packed shot of Bo barreling down the baseline? Value $50 to $60. 1987 Topps Tiffany, Bo Jackson, number 170. Topps produced an estimated 30,000 Tiffany sets in 1987, hardly scarce by any modern definition. But this Bo Jackson rookie card had a few things going for it. It's a Bo Jackson rookie card. It's a glossy and somewhat limited version of the downright iconic baseball card. It's a Bo Jackson rookie card. Value $60 to $70. 1987 Leaf Bo Jackson, number 35. The third of a 4-year run, 1987 Leaf was a partial parallel of the 1987 Donruss set, targeted at the Canadian market. The 264-card set featured more Toronto Blue Jays and Montreal Expos than any other team, but it captured a complete run of the Diamond Kings and the Rated Rookies to start the set. Bo Jackson, of course, was part of the Rated Rookie subset, checking in at number 35. The more scarce Leaf bumps the Donruss version on this list, owing to the accompanying higher card value of the top-graded specimens. Value $70 to $90. 1987 McDag Auburn Tigers, Tiger Great Bo Jackson. Issued by McDag Productions in 1987, the 11-card Auburn Tigers Tiger Great is a mouthful, and it's one of those 1980s issues that looks like someone put it together on a new Commodore 64 they got for Christmas. Either way, Bo shows up twice, once as a football player and once as a baseball player. The latter seems to be more popular today, at least judging by the PSA population report, though it doesn't come up for sale very often. That means pricing is a bit tough to pinpoint, so you might see a wide range if you're ever in the market for one. Value $65 to $100. 1986 Memphis Chicks Gold, Bo Jackson, number 28. The 1986 Memphis Chicks issued 2 sets of cards featuring their players from that summer. one with gold borders and one with silver borders. Cards were numbered according to the players' uniforms, so Bo shows up at number 28 in both runs. There doesn't seem to be a huge difference in availability of the cards, with neither Jackson hitting the open market in top condition all that often. The lower ranking of the gold version here could very well just be a matter of timing and who had a bird to bid up the silvers when they sold most recently. Value $70 to $100. 1986 Don Jennings Southern League All-Star, Bo Jackson, number 13. Pretty much everyone wanted to get on the card production gold mine in the 1980s, and that included some dealers themselves. A longtime super dealer, Jennings likely wouldn't have been able to score MLB or MLBPA licensing, but minor leagues were a different story. And with Bo Jackson, Jose Canseco, Billy Ripken, Mark McGwire, and others graduating or on the verge from the Southern League, jumping on the circuit's all-star was a shrewd move. Ads for these cards were everywhere back in the mid to late 1980s, and you could usually find plenty of them at your local card shop. With such wide exposure, the sight of Bo's pre-rookie became ingrained in our collector brains. Today, this translates into a popular card that carries a fairly hefty price tag in top-graded condition. Value $100 to $120. 1987 Classic Bo Jackson, number 15. The classic board game was popular among fans and collectors almost from the get-go when it was issued in 1987. Of course, for collectors, there was always the tension between playing the game the way it was intended and trying to keep the cards in pristine condition. The 100-card issue included with the game featured a pretty nifty green board design, along with a lineup of the best players in the game, plus rookie cards of guys like Barry Bonds, Devon White, Benito Santiago, and of course, Bo Jackson. That Bo card showcased the familiar theme of him being a two-sport star, in this case, swinging a bat while kneeling in his Auburn football jersey and pads. Bo was also part of a 50-card yellow-bordered update travel set released later in the year, but this one takes the cake from popularity and value standpoint. Value $115 to $130. 1986 Memphis Chicks Silver, Bo Jackson, number 28. This is the silver version of the Bo Jackson Memphis Chicks card, featuring a different image than we saw on the gold version. The silver also lands at a higher price point on our list, but as we discussed with the gold, that could mostly be a point-in-time market artifact. Value $120 to $130. 1994 Finest Refractor, Bo Jackson, number 241. Topps Finest was back for a second go-around in 1994 after it set another new standard for super premium cards in 1993. Bo Jackson was back in the Finest lineup too, appearing as a California Angel at the end of his career that wrapped up that summer when the players went on strike. And of course, the real game changers were back in 1994 too. Refractors were seeded 1 in 9 packs and available as parallels for every card in the base set, including Bo's. Value $175 to $200. 1991 Topps Desert Shield, Bo Jackson, number 600. In 1991, with the U.S. embroiled in its first Gulf War, Topps produced a special run of their 40th anniversary set and earmarked them for troops serving in the conflict. These cards were identical to the Topps base set from that year, but with a special gold foil stamp on the card front that included a palm tree above Operation Desert Shield text. Issued in 15-card packs that were indistinguishable from normal packs, these cards were intended to be shipped to the Middle East, but many of them ended up staying stateside. With an estimated 6,000 of each card produced, give or take a few hundred, it's no surprise that the Desert Shield issue is one of the most popular of the 1990s. Combine that with the legend of Bo Jackson and great photography, and you have a hobby winner. Beware. There are plenty of fakes out there because the stamp was evidently pretty easy for shysters to replicate. Trading in authenticated/graded copies is the best, safest way for this one. Value $250 to $300. 1993 Finest Refractor, Bo Jackson, number 91. Any ground that Topps gave up to Upper Deck or to the premium, super premium issues that Donruss and Fleer pushed out in the early 1990s was made up in a flash in the fall of 1993. Jumping into the high end of the new card market with both feet, Topps pushed out this 199-card beauty with an announced print run of 4,000 cases, each containing 12 boxes. That equates to about 30,000 of each card, which was perceived to be a pretty stingy amount back in those days. Even stingier? The distribution of the razzle-dazzle refractor parallels, which seemed to be seated about 1 per box. Most estimates have fewer than 250 of each refractor in existence. So no surprise that the super scarce Bo Jackson card has inched its way to the top, or the bottom, as it were, of our list. Value $325 to $400. 1986 Donruss Highlights Bo Jackson, highlights in white, number 43. At about the same time collectors were oogling Bo's first Donruss card in the Rookies later issue, we also had a chance to nab another Jackson issue from the Big D. This highlights card celebrates Bo's historic bomb that he hit in the Royal Stadium that summer. But the actual word highlights across the baseball on the front was supposed to be rendered in yellow. Some of them got out into the wild with white lettering, though, and the error variation is scarce enough that it commands a significant premium today. Value $500 to $600. 1986 Topps Traded Tiffany, Bo Jackson, number 50T. As for bereft of strong rookie cards as the 1986 Topps base set was, Vince Coleman and Ozzie Guillen were at the top of the heap for years, with Darren Daulton, Lynn Dykstra, Cecil Fielder, and Mickey Tittleton adding some beef later on. The 1986 Topps Traded set is downright loaded. In that 132 card box set, you'll find extended rookie cards, or XRCs, of Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla, Jose Canseco, Will Clark, Andres Galarraga, Wally Joyner, John Kruk, Kevin Mitchell, and Kirk Stillwell. Of course, I couldn't leave that one out. And of course, Bo Jackson. For all the great baseball cards that Jackson appears on during his all-too-brief Diamond career, this one is undoubtedly the most desired and most widely collected. The Tiffany edition, which was limited to 5,000 sets distributed through dealers, only ramps up the price equation for these guys, Bo included. Incidentally, if you move up to a PSA 10 copy of this Jackson beauty, of which 37 exist at the time of this video, you're looking at a 5-figure card. Value $850 to $950. WaxPackGods.com